What's up, everybody? Welcome in to A to Z Sports Picks. Brian and I are going to have a great show for you this Friday. Get you all set up for the betting weekend. Brian, my man, looking sharp, buddy. How we doing?
Doing great, brother. One of my funnest weekends of the year has arrived.
Yeah, I assume Florida fans have had fun this weekend for the last 17 years. You guys have had a good time with it, huh?
16 of those 17.
Everybody, welcome in A to Z Sports Picks. I'm Alan Bell, CBS Sports Line, alongside Brian Edwards of VegasInsider.com. A to Z Sports Picks is brought to you every Friday by BetMGM, the king of sportsbook. Users use code A to Z Sports to get a risk-free bet of up to $1,000 on pro football. And it's promo code A to Z Sports. That's BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older. Must be present in the state of Tennessee. For gambling problem support, call Tennessee Redline at 800-889-9789. Brian, we're not going to waste a single second. Florida at Tennessee. Not only is it the focus of this show, the focus of the state of Tennessee, the focus of the state of Florida. As a country, game day is there. Everybody is there in Knoxville, Tennessee. We're looking at a spread. Tennessee 10.5. Where's the total sitting that you see? 62? Is that what you're seeing right now? Somewhere around there? Should be close. I didn't mean to throw you for a loop there.
I got it. 62 and a half. And mostly 62 and a half is what I see.
All right, there we go. All right, so the one bet you make on this game, I'm going to give you the floor first. You've earned it.
I get to go first.
Yeah, you've earned it. You get to choose. You want to go first or you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first.
All right, I'll tell you what we just said. Florida's won 16 of the last 17. It's been a house of horrors for Tennessee. 100%. That being said, do you know what those 17 years have to do with the game Saturday?
Nothing.
They have nothing to do. I think Tennessee has the better offense. I think Tennessee has a better defense. I think Tennessee's a better team. And I think Tennessee's path to success, much more many paths to get there. I think Florida has to play one style of game to do it. I'm taking Tennessee 10.5. I think Tennessee wins by 14 or more. I said it. I know exactly what I just said. I'm saying it. What do you got?
Well, if Florida plays like they played last week, Tennessee might win by 21 or more. I do not think they will play like they did last week. They had freshmen at linebacker, which they will have again because Ventrell Miller is out, and that is a huge loss. So we're going to struggle stopping the run like we did last week. But I don't think they'll be hitting the wrong gaps like every play like they did last week, or at least hope not. And yeah, 17 years does not have anything to do with tomorrow, but it's a real thing. Gives Florida what
I said, but it's a real thing. Like it does exist.
I think it's a real thing with the fans. Like if Florida were to take the lead, I think the fans could be, oh brother, here we go again. So, it doesn't really have much to do with tomorrow. But in terms of Florida's confidence. Florida has no reason to be confident after the last two performances, but when Florida is going wrong, I mean, Tennessee game is usually what the doctor ordered, not necessarily from that's a game that Florida's always sky high for. So I'm going to go with the Gators plus the 10.5. And
let me say this while you're looking at that. Not a bad, like I think at last I saw 63% of the money spread wise was on Florida plus 10.5. Like, first off, the history. Second off, 10.5. That's a very important, hook right there. So I feel you. Like there's no argument from me on anybody who is betting that. Like that's generally the smart way to go about it. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. Look, Ventrell Miller's a huge loss for Florida, but I think Cedric Tillman is a monster loss for Tennessee, and I don't believe he's been officially downgraded to out yet, if I'm not mistaken, but I've been told that he's not playing. So we'll see. And even if he does, a high ankle sprain, I doubt he's going to be, his normal effectiveness. And he's clearly wide receiver number one on this team, second team all SEC last year. Also, if Keaton Slovis does not get hurt there late in the first half and plays in the second half, I'm of the opinion Pittsburgh probably wins that game. And if so, I think the narrative around this game would be a little bit different. Now, Tennessee was obviously dominant against Ball State and Akron. And when you're playing inferior teams, all you can do is just pound them. And that's what Tennessee did. I'm not trying to discredit those wins because they took care of those games in pimp slap fashion. But anyhow, this was a game that was lined anywhere from Tennessee -4 to -5.5 all summer in games of the year. And so now we've seen that doubled. Doubled with this line. So I am going to go with Florida as the double-digit underdog. One last set of stats. Napier, he has been a road underdog 12 times. He's 8-3-1 against the spread. Now, all of that was at Louisiana Lafayette. In 17 career games as an underdog of any sort, home, away, neutral, bowl games, etc. And this does include the Utah game in week 1. He's 12-4-1 against the spread as an underdog. And the Vols under Heupel as home favorites are 5-2 against the spread in 7 such spots. So that's all I got. I got the Gators.
There we go. Look, let me say this, like in terms of a game script, right? Like I think Tennessee's path to success is what they want to do is they win the coin toss, take the ball, immediately go down the field, put up 6, touchdown. Get the ball back, put a touchdown. What I'm saying, and I'm not saying that's going to happen or it's easy to do. I'm just saying in terms of if I were Josh Heupel, like Tennessee's best defense against Florida is its offense because what they want to do is put up points and essentially take the run game away from Florida, both from a running back perspective and Anthony Richardson, if you could do it. So if you can get yourself to where, Florida has to play a shootout style of game and Anthony Richardson has to throw it 40 to 50 times, that's not what Florida wants to do offensively. Like that's not what their offense is built to do. On the other hand, I think you could see Florida, and you spoke about this, Billy Napier, in terms of running the ball, controlling the clock, limiting Tennessee's offensive opportunities, right? Keeping it to where they don't find rhythm offensively, because the lower that this scored game is, the better that it works for Florida. Absolutely, sure. Right? But I think, I do believe that I don't think Tennessee's defense is all that great, and we're going to find out a lot about them this week, but I don't think Florida is built. Like, there's a number that I think if Tennessee gets 35, 38, 41, like, Florida's not built for that style of game. They're just not built to do it. Now, again, easier said than done. You know what I mean? But I think, like, if you're looking at game scripts for both sides, not only for winning the game, but in terms of betting as well. That's what, if you're betting Tennessee, that's kind of what you want to see. If you're betting Florida, like, I think first half point success, not that it'll like dictate the game, but I think that will have, an impact on it. What were we going to say?
I agree with all that you just said. I was just going to say that, so Florida, we have no experience. Nobody's ever taken a collegiate snap at quarterback behind Anthony Richardson. That's because Jack Miller, the 4-star transfer from Ohio State, he hurt his thumb in early August. He's almost ready, but he's not ready this week. And so I think that has played in to Napier not running Richardson as much. And when he doesn't run, I mean, that's his biggest strength. That's what makes him so effective, and it gives him his confidence. Now, there's been rumors that maybe he got banged up a little bit. He got hit hard quite a few times against Kentucky, and there probably is something to that. So, there have been hardly any designed runs called for Richardson in the last 2 weeks. Hopefully, if he was banged up, hopefully that's okay now. And, I can't imagine, unless he really is still banged up bad, that Florida is not going to try to run him and run him early and run him a lot. Because, look, the season's on the line. We're already 0-1 in the SEC. This is a must-win for Florida. So I think we're going to see a different Anthony Richardson. I hope. We shall see.
Yeah, and everything you just said, I think the more and the quicker that Tennessee can force Anthony Richardson to have to play from the pocket and throw, the better that their opportunities are, right? So we'll
Absolutely.
see. Now, what we'll also see, we're going to hit on this game in just a second because we've got more best bets for it. But I'll tell you what is even better. Omaha Steaks. From tailgate parties to busy weeknights, the flavor experts at Omaha Steaks have made it easy to savor all the flavors of fall with their mouthwatering assortments of perfectly aged steaks, ultra juicy burgers, and easy to prepare comfort meals that are ready in a flash. Brian, right now, take advantage of 50% off site-wide by shopping their semi-annual sale. This sale only happens twice a year, and it's on now. 50% off delicious customer favorites. And when you use promo code A to Z, that's ATOZ at checkout, take an additional $30 off your order. Brian, I know that you've been eating well all weekend long, the past couple off of Omaha Steaks. And you know what, everybody, don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com, enter A to Z, that's ATOZ, at checkout, and stock up on fall flavor today. Omaha Steaks is perfect for those chilly and busy fall nights with entrees ready before the kids can say, what's for dinner? And again, do not forget to use promo code A to Z at checkout to score an extra $30 off your order. Omaha Steaks, it isn't just steak. It's the best steak of your life. And there you go, Brian, because I've got another best option for you, and that's a best bet for Florida at Tennessee. And I'll tell you what, I'll go first again. First quarter, Florida, Tennessee, over 13.5. Both teams, all right? Because I think if you're betting Tennessee, you're expecting them come out hard, come out strong, do it, right? If Banana Land happens, which seems to always happen in this game, Florida returns a kick for a touchdown, returns a punt for a touchdown, finds, breakage in the Tennessee defense. Well, those points help you too, right? So I think regardless of what side that you're betting, the over first quarter, 13.5, rolling with it, man. What about you?
I'm going to go with the Gators on the money line for the game to win some more. Now, obviously, my play on the Gators plus the points is much heavier. Like, let's say I have one unit on the Gators plus the points, just go like a quarter unit on the money line. I've seen it anywhere from plus 275 to plus 300, maybe 305, 310. So, yeah, I'm going to go Gators money line as a way to try to make a little extra scratch on this one.
A little extra scratch. All right, what do you get the money line at? Plus what?
Yeah, I've seen it anywhere from plus 275 to plus 300, maybe a little change, 305, 310. Actually, where I bet it, or one account, I got plus 305 early in the week, and then I got plus 285 on another account.
Nice. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And you spoke about backup quarterbacks not having to take a collegiate snap. I can speak for every Tennessee fan out there that's saying, I don't care if it's a backup quarterback with no arms. Tennessee fans do not want to see a backup quarterback. And that's not against Anthony Richardson. It's just Tennessee has been just killed by backup quarterbacks for years and years and years. So if you see that, unfortunate some reason, Anthony Richardson comes out of the game, you're not going to see any cheers or any of that from Tennessee fans. You'll hear a loud, audible groan, I assure you, on that one. All right, now, let's jump to the NFL. All right, best bets that we have across the board. Spread, total, team totals, props, player props, you name it. I'll go first again. All right. Got a couple for you. First, the Chargers -7 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We saw the Jaguars handle their business against the Colts at home. They always do. Done it since 2014? That being said, I do not believe that the Jaguars are going on the road all the way across the country and playing well in this game. The problem for Jacksonville, like as a bettor, if you're fading Jacksonville, like the problem is that they're down the entire game. So it reaches a point where they're just throwing the ball constantly in the second half, right? And with just really, no regard whatsoever. So they're very prone to backdoor you on a lot of things. But the Chargers are essentially like the upgraded version of what the Jaguars want to be, led by a strong arm dominant quarterback, good defense. This is not a good matchup for Jacksonville at all. I'm going to take the Chargers -7. 7.5, probably wouldn't take it. But if you give me 7, yeah, I'll roll. Were you going to say something?
I was just going to ask you, are you feeling good about Herbert playing, obviously?
Yes, I am. I am. Yeah, I am. And look, next, I'm glad you said that. Speaking of quarterbacks, all right, you know how much I love quarterback interception props, and I think that this week's going to be a big one. I'm going to take Josh Allen, the Bills, over half an interception, -110 against the Dolphins. I think they win. I think the Bills are the best team in the NFL, but Josh Allen does throw interceptions. I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence over half an interception against that Chargers defense. Take Matthew Stafford over half an interception. I'm going to take Tom Brady against the Packers over half an interception. That's only at -105. And Baker Mayfield over half an interception at -130 as well. So to recap there, NFL, Chargers -7, Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, all 5 of those dudes, they throw at least one pick. What do you got?
All right. My favorite by far is the 49ers, -1.5 at Denver. Other than Oscar Mayer liar, I think Nathaniel Hackett might be the worst NFL head coach I've ever seen in my existence. And I've only needed really the first game, but then last week was awful as well on his part. And I don't know what's going on with Russell Wilson, man, but he's got his head up his rear end. Something's up with that dude. And look, San Fran now, nobody wants to see Trey Lance or anybody get hurt, but with him out now, it's Jimmy G's team again. And
they're a better team with him.
Yeah. I mean,
I agree.
By far. And I mean, they were that close to being in the Super Bowl last year. This is a Super Bowl ready team. And now they're ready to roll. And you saw how the teammates were excited. I mean, not excited Lance was hurt, but when Jimmy G was playing good, you could feel the chemistry, and they were real, all 100%. The way behind him. Yeah, I mean, that was palpable from your couch watching TV. So anywho, and Denver's just got issues. I know it's a road game going into altitude, and all those things are red flags, obviously. But I just think San Francisco's better team, better coach, better everything. Love the Niners. All right, I'm also going to go the over on, I know it's a high number, Detroit, Minnesota. It's 52.5 at a lot of spots. 52 can possibly be a key number. It's 3 from 49, a multiple 7. So maybe by the hook if it's 52.5. I know it's only a 2-game sample size, so I hate throwing out, all these league stats after 2 games. Yeah. I'd hate doing that, but I'm going to do it just because Detroit's defense sucks so bad. I mean, they've given up. They're 31 in scoring defense. They're number 4 in total offense. They're number 2 in points scored. So they have scored 35.5 points per game, giving up 32.5 points per game. DeAndre Swift's playing great. I just think we're going to get the over. So that one, and this is probably a square play, but I'm going to do it anyway, just because I'm going to do this until I lose doing it. And I think we both agree Buffalo's the best team in the league, but Miami's a really good team too. You don't lay 5 on the road like this. But I am this week. I'm going to go with Buffalo. And if they get beat, then I'll quit laying road chalk with them, especially against quality teams. And the last one I had, oh, goodness gracious.
Well, I'll tell you this while you look for it. You know who Josh Allen has played his best football against?
The Dolphins.
In the NFL?
The Dolphins.
Yeah, by far.
Good.
He's owned them. Owned them. Yeah. So Josh Allen's stats, I know I took him for an interception. Josh Allen throws an interception almost every game, right? He was top 5 in the NFL in interceptions last year. I think he was 5. Matthew Stafford was 1, right? He puts the ball up. There's no run game. Their run game at the end is him throwing, right? So, yeah. But that being said, dude, look at his stats. He has put up monster numbers against Miami. Keep going, sir.
Last one, Baltimore -3. I mean, or maybe you can find a 2.5. I mean, I'm eating chalk on 3 road teams. That's not usually good, but I'm doing it anyway. I think the Ravens bounce back. I'm going -3 at New England.
There we go. All right. Final segment of the show here. College football picks that you have for this weekend. We'll run through it pretty quickly. Look, first, Boise State team total over 30.5 tonight. All right. Playing UTEP at UTEP, the Sun Bowl. Boise State has never lost to UTEP. Ever. They've handled their business. They average 48 points in their matchups against UTEP. Taking them over 30.5 tonight. Taking Texas -7 against Texas Tech. Tomorrow, Texas Tech, not a good football team at all. I know that Texas, obviously the quarterback situation, but I feel comfortable there. Vanderbilt, Alabama, my last one. Vanderbilt, Alabama, first half over 33.5 points. Yes. Look, Alabama's going to cover this number on their own. Vanderbilt's playing over their head. Alabama's playing under. I think it's going to flip. When you hear Nick Saban not speaking, being quiet, not using radio to talk to his team, that means his team's figured it out. I think that they are going to put up monster numbers in the first half. So take that. Ryan, end us here, man. What you got?
All right, Arkansas is my favorite play of the weekend. Rocket Sanders is playing great, 4th in the nation in rushing yards, 2nd in the country in yards from scrimmage. We've got a huge advantage in the quarterback department. KJ Jefferson, 6-to-1 TDI&T ratio, 3 rushing touchdowns, and A&M, their offense is just pedestrian. Max Johnson didn't make any mistakes, but he's not scaring anybody. And Arkansas's weakness is their pass defense. But I just don't, A&M doesn't have much of a pass game. I mean, they can get explosive plays from A-Chain and running back, and obviously Aniyah Smith can make some explosive plays. But I just don't think they have enough offense to keep up with Arkansas. Not only do I like Arkansas as my favorite pick and think they win outright, I think they win by 2 or 3 touchdowns and put it on A&M. All right, my second favorite play is Clemson -7 to Wake Forest. You talk about domination, 13 straight wins in a row in this rivalry, and 12 of those 13 wins have been by margins of 14 or more, including the last 10, and 10 of the 13 wins have been by at least 20 points. Wake could not run the ball on Liberty last week, only had 21 rushing yards on 26 carries. They were fortunate Hugh Freeze's team failed in a 2-point conversion, and Wake escaped 37-36. Clemson's still a work in progress offensively, but Will Shipley will give them enough from the running back position to have enough offense. I think Clemson wins by double digits. I'm also going with North Carolina against Notre Dame. It's a favorable spot for the Tar Heels, who've had 2 weeks to prepare. And Notre Dame, their offense is just not good. And UNC has issues on defense, but I don't think any more so than Notre Dame's offense has issues. And Drake May is playing outstanding, 11-to-1 TDI&T ratio, completing 74.2% of his passes, 5.6 yards per carry average. And he gets Josh Downs back, the All-American receiver who's missed the last 2 games. He's going to play. I like the Tar Heels. I also like Allen's pick of Bama, Vandy over 33.5 or 34 in the first half. Like he said, Alabama's going to get 35 on its own. And for less, I like it for the game, because I do think once Bama goes to backups, A.J. Swan will make a few things happen. Vandy can get maybe 10, 17 in the second half against the backups, and Bama's going to get 50 minimum. And I think that's it.
There we go. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. And like we said, Omaha Steaks, seriously, take advantage of this right now, site-wide, by shopping their semi-annual sale, 50% off. This only happens twice a year, and it's on now with 50% off delicious customer favorites. And when you use promo code A to Z, that's ATOZ at checkout, take an additional $30 off your order. Brian, best of luck this weekend, buddy. Let's cash these tickets. Everybody, thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Best of luck to you, AB, and everybody else. And go Gators.